Hello, good morning. Welcome everyone to the Planetech stage of Web Summit. Now, let's face it, you know it, I know it. This is the most important stage because there is no challenge more pressing than that of a climate emergency. But we are not here today to drill you with the urgency. We are here today to look at the exciting solutions and how our favorite thing, technology, is helping them scale. My promise to you today is that you will walk out with at least one solution or insight that you can implement right away that has the potential to change the world. I don't know which one of the solutions will give you this aha moment, so be listening for that. And when you go back home and go back to work, please share it with others. We've got an incredible lineup of speakers today. And my name is Elena. I'm sustainability speaker, Arctic artist, and head of Earth Plus, where we have a crazy mission to create the largest soil cleanup with nature. I will be your MC for this morning, and I will walk you through these sessions. But first, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in the Arctic. In fact, you might have seen my home city in the James Bond GoldenEye movie. Right at the beginning of the movie, there is this chemical weapons facility set in the mountains full of snow. James Bond defeats everyone, obviously, runs out, tries to escape, but the plane falls off a cliff. So he jumps after the plane, gets in the plane, and steers it away as a victor. To tell you the truth, this scene was filmed in Switzerland. My home city is very flat and a lot more cheerful. The most common question that I get is, how was it like to grow up in the Arctic? And the answer is very cold. Temperatures up to minus 40 degrees. The air is so fresh and crisp, it tickles your cheeks and your nose. Complete darkness when you go to school and back, and complete light in summers with sun up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you're lucky, magnificent northern lights on New Year's night. But the Arctic is changing. It's warming up 4 times faster than the rest of the planet, and that sets off a series of events across the globe. It accelerates the melting of the Greenland, which releases vast amounts of water into the Atlantic Ocean, messes up the ocean currents, pushes the monsoon system further south, causes droughts over the Amazon, which we are seeing right now, locks in the warm air further south, and accelerates the warming of the Antarctic. You see, the North Pole and the South Pole are connected, and they regulate our whole stability of ecosystem on Earth. So when they go out of balance, so do we. Now, I was looking at all of that and seeing my childhood home literally melt away, and there was one thought going on in my mind: how do I make it all better? Long story short, I quit my corporate job as a director at MasterCard, and the answer eventually came with this. Now, you might think that I'm slightly insane and I'm showing you a plant that causes magic visions. I'm not. This plant is industrial hemp, but it has other magic properties that will blow your mind. It grows to 4 meters in just 3.5 months, and in that amount of time, it captures up to 4 times more CO2 than a young forest in a year. It needs 90% less water to grow than other crops, and it helps restore soils with its deep roots. And it's extremely versatile with what you can make out of it. You can eat it as a superfood. You can drink it as a beer. You can make cars with it like Porsche and BMW. And you can build cities with it because it's the most strong fiber in the world. But it's not even these properties that made me fall in love with industrial hemp. You see, there was this big scandal in Belgium where I live now around forever chemicals. They went around, they measured people's blood, it was really high. And chances are you might not have heard of what forever chemicals are. I didn't either. But they're everything that makes things non-stick and water-resistant. So they are in your favorite winter jacket, in your phone, in your computer, in your frying pan, in your furniture, and even in your takeaway pizza box. But because of their useful properties, these chemicals do not decompose in nature. And the production process creates this pollution that spreads really far and is highly toxic. It's in our food and in our water. And traditionally, the hotspots are excavated and put somewhere else. But if you look at the scale of pollution, and here is an example of Europe on the slides, you will see that we cannot literally excavate a third of our continent. Last year, there was a pilot in Belgium, one of the first ones in the world to try to tackle forever chemicals in soils with industrial hemp, because hemp was used to clean Fukushima and Chernobyl. And the results were groundbreaking. Hemp acted like a pump. It transferred the pollution through the roots of the plant into the leaves. The leaves were then separated and treated at extremely high temperatures to get rid of the pollution, but the stems, which remained completely clean, were used to create circular materials, like reinforced hemp wood, which helps fight deforestation and avoids cutting trees, and biocomposites, which are a substitute for steel and plastic. Cherry on top of the cake, these materials were created fully circular, so at the end of life, that could be made into exactly the same material without any waste. Now, please don't think that this is a magic pill. It would take years to clean historical pollution. But what is years in comparison to millennia, while we can reduce CO2 in the meantime and make our cities circular? This pilot gave birth to Earth Plus and our crazy mission of creating the largest soil cleanup with nature. We are now working with scientists and academic partners like the University of Ghent, who help us define the best nature-based solutions to clean soils. We're also working with construction companies like C-Biotech and Cordell Group, who design these circular materials and put them in their buildings. And we are working with technology partners like Microsoft and Delaware to build a platform that will help us track our impact near real time, thanks to the satellite imagery, algorithms, AI models, and IoT devices on the ground. Because let's face it, we often believe that technology alone will save the world. But in the last 10 years, nature removed 54% of our greenhouse gas emissions. Nature did that. And we can use technology to make nature impact transparent, and we can use technology to make nature sexy again. If you would love to follow our mission, if you're curious about our upcoming projects or have some soils that need some work, scan this QR code and get in touch, or find us at earthplus.eu. Thank you.